Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Niket Karunaratne.
And I'm Kasini Balachandra Adhikari. Here are your top stories for tonight.
The President says the Aswasuma relief will be provided to all recipients immediately. The President makes an unexpected visit to Pallegama Madhya Mahavidyalaya in Vilgamur. The national 1,500-kilometre road redevelopment project commences. The Supreme Court dismisses the fundamental rights petition filed challenging the passing of the online safety bill. The potential meningitis outbreak in 19 states in Nigeria.
On to those and other stories in detail now. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says the relief entitled under Aswasuma will be provided to all eligible recipients immediately.
He emphasized that the Aswasuma and Urumaya programs play a significant role in sustaining the livelihoods of people. President Ranil Wickremesinghe made this statement during a meeting discussing the implementation of the Aswasuma program at the Matale Vilgamur Divisional Secretariat this morning. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that assuming the presidency amidst a severe economic downturn and bankruptcy, he recognized the urgency of addressing the country's financial crisis. Unfortunately, during that period, he said that no leader stepped forward to navigate the nation through these dire economic challenges. Consequently, many individuals lost their jobs and faced significant livelihood struggles. Hence, he said that he assumed the responsibility of ensuring the survival of the nation's people. Consequently, he said that the government embarked on economic revitalization efforts to bolster the country's financial stability. To safeguard the fundamental right to livelihood, he said that the government established the Aswasuma program, providing financial aid to those in need. Through Aswasuma, the president said that they have tripled the assistance provided to the population compared to the Samruddhi program. Initially, there were approximately 1.6 million Samruddhi beneficiaries in the country. However, he said that the government aimed to expand the number of Aswasuma beneficiaries to 2.4 million. He said that they have also executed the Urumaya program, which grants freehold land to all those who have received land licenses under the Land Development Act since 1935. This initiative resolves the long-standing issues faced by people after affirming their legal right to the land. This visit marks the first time a president has visited the Vilgamur Regional Secretariat. The president recorded his visit in the logbook of the Divisional Secretariat.
ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ වැඩ කටයුතුවලට පූර්ණ අභිමානව සහයෝගය ලබා දෙනවා. ප්‍රශ්න කරන්න. ඔව්. සංගණන ඉවර කරලා. ඒ අවුරුද්දේ
Following this, the president engaged in a discussion with the beneficiaries and provided positive responses to many of the problems they raised. Meanwhile, the president had a cordial discussion with the Gramaniladari officers from the Vilgamur Divisional Secretariat, where they discussed their professional challenges. He also expressed appreciation for their support for the Aswasuma and Urumaya programs. The president also engaged in a discussion with public representatives of the area. President Ranil Wickremesinghe made a visit to Vilgamur Pallegama Madhya Mahavidyalaya today to assess the educational activities of the students.
The President's visit coincided with his attendance at a discussion held at the Vilgamur Divisional Secretariat Auditorium regarding the Aswasuma programme. During his visit, President Wickremesinghe conversed with the teachers at the school, discussing both the students' academic endeavours and any identified shortcomings within the educational system. Drawing attention to some of the issues raised during his interaction, the President assured the students of his commitment to addressing them promptly. Additionally, he offered his blessings for their future educational activities, encouraging them to strive for excellence.
The National 1,500-kilometre Road Redevelopment Project was commenced today. It was held with the participation of Minister Bandula Gunawardena. Accordingly, the renovation activities pertaining to Benivalkola Pasal Mawatha Road in Homagama Electorate were commenced this morning under this project. Under the first phase, 500 kilometres of roads will be redeveloped. Another 500 kilometres will be renovated under the second phase, while the final 500 kilometres will be renovated in April. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that following the independence, despite the government, the provision of the infrastructure facilities in the country was carried out with domestic and external loans. He said that the government has to make public sector salaries, pensions and facilitate Samruddhi and Aswasuma beneficiary programs. He pointed out that the government also has to make interest payments for the external loans. However, he said that none of the governments in the past had adequate revenue to make these payments. He said that the President is taking an immense effort to make the debt repayments. The Mahawava Iranavila Samidugama International Road in Puttlam was commenced today. The Mahawava Iranavila Samidugama Internal Road in Puttlam was commenced today by State Minister Ashok Priyantha. The road will be developed at a cost of 20 million rupees. The road leading to the Sanghavasya of Galvihare in historic Polonnaruwa sacred site will also be renovated under this project. The renovation activities, which will be carried out at a cost of 9 million rupees, commenced with the participation of State Minister Siripala Gamlat. The renovation of the main road connecting Malavanguna and Kalavilla in Beruwala leading to Hathatudwa was commenced today. The Dhammadisi Road in Sanrathka Maharispatwa Kanti is also expected to be redeveloped under this project, extending benefits to several villages in the area.
The Supreme Court has ordered to dismiss a fundamental rights petition filed citing that the passing of the online safety bill in Parliament was not carried out in an appropriate manner. The relevant petition was filed by parliamentarian M.A. Sumandiran. The three-member Supreme Court judge bench, comprised of Shiran Gunaratna, Achala Vengapuli and Priyantha Jayawardena, made this decision unanimously. Delivering the verdict, Justice Priyantha Jayawardena said that the judiciary has no power to interfere with the internal affairs of the Parliament under the Parliament Privilege Act. Also, the court has no power to interfere after the Speaker certifies that the bill has been passed in an appropriate manner under the Constitution. A verdict previously issued by a judge bench comprised of former Chief Justice Shavrananda further reflects on this reason. The judge further indicated that if there are faults pertaining to an act, then those should be rectified by introducing relevant amendments. Therefore, it was announced that the Supreme Court has no power to take the petition up for hearing. Speaker Mahinda Apabewardena and the Attorney General were named as respondents to this petition. The Meteorology Department urged to avoid engaging in outdoor activities during 11:30 am to 3 pm due to the prevailing extreme heat.
That the rainfall observed in the country will continue to drop, contributing to the prevailing condition. Health authorities have urged children, pregnant women, elders and individuals with long-term illnesses to avoid engaging in outdoor activities during extreme heat. Health authorities have pointed out that the adverse impacts to human body from the extreme heat can be reduced with the consumption of water. The Met Department has said that the prevailing extreme heat will continue until the end of the month of May. The newly appointed IGP Desab Tenon assumed in his official duties today.
He is the 36th IGP of the country. IGP Desab Tenon was welcomed at the police headquarters in a ceremonial parade. Subsequently, he assumed his duties amidst religious blessings. IGP Desab Tenon met with President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. President Ranil Wickremesinghe extended his felicitations to the new IGP and engaged in a friendly conversation with him. Subsequently, he met with Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Temple Trees. The IGP met with Minister Tiran Alas during this afternoon at the Ministry of Public Security. He then engaged in a friendly conversation with the minister. IGP Desab Tenon said that a constant monitoring of the Yukti operation in all parts of the country is being carried out in a meeting with the DIGs in charge of other provinces every morning. He said that he expects to further enhance the Yukti operation in the future. The final rites of the renowned politician late Ronnie DeMille will be held at the University of Ruhuna premises tomorrow.
Due to the funeral, a day of mourning has been declared in the Southern Province tomorrow. Accordingly, Governor of the Southern Province, Dr. W. Wickremesinghe, has informed to hoist the national flag at half-mast in all state institutions in the province. The remains of the late politician Ronnie DeMille was kept at his residence in Colombo 3 until 2 p.m. today. Former Presidents Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, Mahinda Rajapaksa and Maithripala Sirisena, as well as many other politicians, were present to pay their last respects. Subsequently, the remains were taken to Vallammanmatara at around 2 p.m. Then the remains were taken to the entrance of the University of Ruhuna in a vehicle parade. The remains of the late politician were kept at a special hall near the University Indoor Stadium. Entering the parliament from the Devinura electorate in 1977, the late finance minister pioneered in introducing the open market system to Sri Lanka. Late Minister Ronnie DeMille had made significant contribution within the political sphere in the country. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasizes Sri Lanka's dedication in maintaining a strategic position aimed at ensuring the absence of major power rivalries and upholding freedom of navigation in the Indian Ocean.
The President made these remarks in his address at the Pathfinder Indian Ocean Security Conference held in Colombo yesterday. The third phase of the Pathfinder Indian Ocean Security Conference was commenced in Colombo with the participation of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. It was organized by the Pathfinder organization. The two-day conference, with the participation of delegates representing several nations, underscored the significance of the Indian Ocean and its role in global security and supply chain resilience. The President highlighted that Sri Lanka's commitment to freedom of navigation has prompted the country to engage in operations as guardians of prosperity in the Red Sea. He underscored the significance of the Suez Canal, particularly evident during the Six-Day War, when its closure for 10 years negatively impacted the Colombo port, emphasizing the necessity of ensuring unrestricted navigation.
India has always influenced the outcome of the Indian Ocean geopolitics to a large extent. India, Indonesia, Sri Lanka has been involved throughout. Pakistan and Myanmar at different stages dropped out. Now what has happened now? In the last 5 years, we have come to the forefront for different reasons. One is the continuing the build-up of tensions over Taiwan and in Asia, in East Asia, which has resulted in China shifting its emphasis to the Indian Ocean. And the Silk Route has, the BRI, has played a prominent role. The only question that has come is with the debt crisis of how the debt is to be handled by China. So that's one issue that's come up. But during the process, one thing else happened. The Ukraine war, the sanctions imposed by the West did not result in the collapse of the Russian economy. It just shifted east. If you look at the amount of oil that is being refined in the Gulf refineries, it is far more than what is found in the Middle East. With the Russian and the Iranian oil, no one knows, we don't know what we are buying. There's a certificate. But whole of the Russian economy shifted here into this region towards Singapore and Hong Kong. But this became the main region, is Dubai. So Russia has not collapsed, but the Russian economy instead of looking westward has come eastward, and the money is here. The road to Central Asia lies through Iran, and India is helping Iran also in developing the second port. So you've got a second group there. Third one is India. India itself become one of the largest economies, and Indian market will keep expanding till late 21st century. So look at the potential for India, which everyone has recognized. And next is Indonesia. And finally South Africa. So you can see how the new power balancers have come. Then within it, what are we committed to? Sri Lanka is committed with this strategic position to ensure there is no big power rival, and the freedom of navigation. The freedom of navigation has led us now to take part in the operations in Prosperity Guardian in the Red Sea. We have come to the forefront.
US Ambassador Jolie Chung, founder of Pathfinder Milinda Moragoda, along with High Commissioners and Ambassadors, participated in this event.
UN Population Fund extends support to Sri Lanka to modernize statistical system to move towards digital economy. These remarks were shared when United Nations Population Fund Asia Pacific Regional Director P.O. Smith called on Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Temple Trees today. The UPFPA Regional Director assured continuous support to upgrade data systems to move towards the digital economy. He expressed interest in assisting programs to enhance collaboration at the national level and advocate for the rights of women and girls. UNFPA Sri Lanka sustains its enduring collaboration with the government of Sri Lanka and diverse stakeholders countrywide, driving progress in health, education and gender equality. The Prime Minister said that the support provided to strengthen comprehensive sexual and reproductive health services encompassing family planning and maternal and neonatal healthcare was highly appreciated.
Minister Bandula Gunawardena says around 4,000 vehicles enter into the city of Colombo only to obtain services from the Department of Motor Traffic. He pointed out that this situation can be easily negated with the digitalisation process. He made these remarks during a media briefing held at the Government Information Department today. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that last year the department has contributed 5.2 billion rupees to the state revenue. He said that they have recommended a sustainable solution for the allegations levelled against the department. Accordingly, he said that the department will be fully digitalized under this initiative. He said that plans are underway to initiate a long-term project under the title E-Motoring. Commissioner General of Motor Traffic Nishant Anuruddha Veerasinghe said that from the 4th of March, all vehicles should schedule an appointment with the department to obtain its services. Accordingly, he said that a telephone number 0112-117-116 and the website www.dmtappointment.gov.lk have been introduced in this regard.
website හඳුන්වා දීලා තියෙනවා. ඒක ඇවිල්ලා dmtappointment.gov.lk කියන එක.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තුළ
Chairman of the National Transport Medical Institute, Darshana Veratna, said that the medical certificate can be obtained from 26 branches of the institute, which are being connected through a network for the ease of clients. He said that an appointment can also be made through the e-channeling service.
A meeting between Minister Nalin Fernando and Israel's Economic and Industries Minister was held in Dubai. The meeting was held in parallel to the 13th Ministerial Level Summit of the World Trade Organization. Minister Nalin Fernando took part in the session representing Sri Lanka. The summit is conducted with the participation of representatives from 164 countries. United Arab Emirates holds the chairmanship for this year's summit. During the summit, Israel's Economic and Industries Minister Nir Barkat met with Minister Nalin Fernando. Extensive discussions were held on various aspects, including the economic cooperation development, directing more Sri Lankans for employment opportunities in Israel, agriculture sector development in Sri Lanka, and obtaining Israel technology for Sri Lanka's trade sector.
The 13th Annual Research Symposium of the National Building Research Organization was held in Colombo today. This year's symposium was conducted under the theme of Building Resilience, 40 Years in Retrospect. The event was organized marking the 40th anniversary of the organization. The chief guest of the event was State Minister Kanaka Herath. The symposium was designed to the collaborative platform with participation of public and private sector institutions, academia, professional bodies and international and regional partner agencies. The event showcased the outcomes of research studies conducted by NBRO in 2023. Around 200 participants took part in this event.
Mr. Tetsuya, and also to our keynote speaker, Department of Civil Engineering.
I would like to congratulate very much the NBRO on the successful implementation of the activities under this annual research symposium, which actually is making the solid foundation of all the things that NBRO is doing in terms of research and development and providing services for construction industry and other industries, and contributing to a lot to the whole economy and society of Sri Lanka. And I would like to thank NBRO for partnering with us and always understanding and helping our activities. Let me, first of all, renew our firm commitment to continue working with NBRO and disaster risk management and reduction area. As we face evolving disaster risks and uncertainties due to macroeconomic conditions as well as climate change, JICA recognized the need for an adaptive disaster risk reduction strategy tailored to Sri Lanka current situation. Our collaboration with the relevant ministries and government agencies in developing a DRR roadmap in 2017 has laid a solid foundation for various projects implementation with our partners. However, the ever-changing dynamic landscape calls for continued adaptation to address the economic and climate changes effectively.
It is with great honor and privilege that I stand before you today at the 13th Annual Research Symposium of the National Building Research Organization. It is great to be here where the peak of research and technical expertise meet to address the critical challenges facing our built environment. The theme chosen for this year's symposium, Building Resilience, 40 Years in Retrospect, is not only timely but also deeply reflective of the NBRO's journey over the past 4 decades in fortifying our built environment against adverse. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to NBRO on reaching this remarkable milestone in 2024. At the core of today's gathering lies the imperative of building disaster resilience in our country. The work undertaken by NBRO stands as a testament to its commitment to this cause. As a tireless advocate, NBRO provides customized and integrated technical guidance aimed to ensure a disaster resilient and safe Sri Lanka. It serves as the national focal point for landslide risk management, pioneer research and innovation in disaster management and resilient infrastructure.
And that's all the news from home. Stay tuned for foreign news coming up next.
Dengue, 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 dengue.
சரியாக நாளாந்தம் நாம் அனைவரும் டெங்கு ஒழிப்பிற்காக சுகாதார அமைச்சின் தகவல்.
Welcome back, and on foreign news, foreign media reports that an outbreak of meningitis has killed 20 students in northern Nigeria. The death toll, which remains provisional, was announced by the Yobe State Education Commissioner. The outbreak has been recorded in some secondary schools in the state. Over 100 cases have allegedly been reported, with 3 patients said to be still in an intensive care unit responding to treatment. Meningitis is an infection which causes an acute inflammation of the outer layers of the brain and spinal cord. It can be life-threatening unless diagnosed and treated early.
A woman has died and 2 people are missing after a migrant boat had to be rescued in the English Channel. According to French maritime authorities, the boat had 50 migrants on board when it got into difficulty off the French coast on Wednesday. Passengers told rescuers 3 people had gone overboard. The French maritime prefecture said the woman was recovered from the water but was unable to be resuscitated. 2 others could not be found. 2 French naval vessels and a helicopter were deployed. According to the French authorities, the body was retrieved, but 2 other people reported missing, could not be located and are presumed dead. The other passengers on board were taken to safety.
A rapidly spreading Texas wildfire has killed 1 person, forced residents to evacuate, cut off power to homes and businesses, and briefly paused operations at a nuclear weapons facility. The second largest fire in the history of Texas has burned 850,000 acres of land north of the city of Amarillo. Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a disaster declaration for 60 counties. Dry grass, high temperatures and strong winds have fueled the conflagration. Rain was expected in the state's northern panhandle on Thursday, which may aid efforts to extinguish the blaze.
More than 100 Palestinians are reported to have been killed while waiting for aid to be delivered in northern Gaza. At least 104 Palestinians waiting for food aid killed and 760 wounded after being shot at by Israeli forces in Gaza. The Hamas-run health ministry blamed Israeli forces, and Palestinian media cited medical sources saying Israeli troops fired at the crowd. An Israeli Defense Forces statement also said dozens were killed, being trampled and run over by trucks. It also said troops opened fire at several people in the crowd who posed a threat to them.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
Lankas squad left the country this morning to take part in a series of matches against Bangladesh.
The series will begin on the 4th of March in Sylhet.
The Sri Lankan squad engaged in all religious observances at the Lanka cricket premises prior to their departure. The squad named for the T20 series was announced yesterday. Vanidhu Hasaranga has been named as the captain for the 17-member squad. However, due to the 2-match ban imposed against him, the first 2 matches will be captained by Charith Asalanka. Avishka Fernando has been recalled to the squad to replace Pathum Nissanka, who was injured during the Afghanistan series. Accordingly, the series will be comprised of 3 T20 matches, 3 one-day international matches and 2 tests.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
And that's all the news for tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.